It is 10 o'clock, so if you're ready, meet me on the mat and we'll get started. My name is Jackie, and this is my Vinyasa Flow yoga class. If you weren't here last week, we went through just your basic beginner's Vinyasa Flow. This week, I would like to go through some of the same motions and positions, but maybe just hold each stretch a little deeper and work on some more balancing. If you can't tell already, I did lose my voice a little over the weekend, so I apologize for that. However, bear with me and I will make the class as enjoyable as possible. So when you're ready, if you have a mat, that's perfect. If not, just find a comfy space to begin your workout and meet me here in seated, and we'll go through some breathing before we get into the exercise. So let's start with some deep breaths. Breathing in and out. In and out. Making sure we fill up our lungs and then deep into our stomachs with each breath. Maybe rolling our shoulders back, loosening up our neck. Maybe rolling them forward. Moving our head clockwise and counterclockwise. Just connecting with yourself and your body as we begin to warm up a little. Maybe we bring our ear to our shoulder and our ear to our other shoulder. Maybe our chin to our chest, chin to the sky. Let's do 2 more deep breaths. Breathing in, holding it, and breathing out. 1 more, breathing in and out. Now when you're ready, we'll move over to child's pose. Our knees are a little farther than our hips. Maybe our toes are touching. We sink our hips back and extend our arms out. If you want more of a stretch, feel free to creep your arms, walk your hands forward, maybe put that head to the mat, and breathe. I would like to set our intention for today's class. Maybe you need some more patience in your life. Maybe you just need to relieve some stress today. Whatever your intention may be, think about it, hold on to it, and then let it flow to your mat. And just breathe and be with that intention. Maybe sinking your hips a little further back to get deeper into that stretch for now. Keeping with that breath. When you're ready, our arms come up under our shoulders, our knees under our hips, about hip width apart, and we begin in tabletop position. From here, we'll extend our right arm up and feel that weight shift between our body. Maybe shifting our gaze up, wiggling our fingers, really starting to warm up that core. And we'll bring that arm down. Our left arm comes up. Maybe wiggle those fingers as our gaze shifts up. Holding it and breathing. Bringing that arm down. Our right leg kicks out. Maybe rolling that ankle. Again, feeling that weight shift. Holding it there and warming up that core. And we'll bring that leg down. Our left leg comes out. Again, maybe rolling that ankle out clockwise and counterclockwise. Breathing. And that leg comes down. We'll do opposite arm, opposite leg. That left arm comes up, right leg up. And hold it there. Feeling our body. Maybe we're a little more shaky than usual today. Or maybe you're holding it perfectly. Wherever you're at, just be with the pose. And breathe. And those come down. Right arm, left leg come up. Feel the difference on this side. Maybe there is no difference. Grounding yourself with the limbs on the mat and holding the pose. Breathing. And those arms and legs come down. From here, we'll do some cat-cows to warm up that spine. We'll drop our stomach, inhale, and round it out, exhale. Again, inhale, dropping that stomach to the mat. And exhale, rounding out that spine, one vertebra at a time. Do this 3 more times. You can follow me or go at your own pace. Inhale and exhale. Two more. Dropping that stomach and rolling out that spine. Inhale one last time. And exhale. We'll meet back in tabletop. And we'll extend those knees a little wider into child's pose again. Maybe you're a little deeper into the stretch this time than the first. Maybe you need to walk your hands out to get deeper. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Laying your head down to the mat. Let's enjoy this pose and a few breaths. One more deep breath. When you're ready, meet me into seated. We'll take a few breaths here before getting into our flow or our sun salutations. Our hands will come up and we'll stretch to one side, making sure to keep that breath. Coming up into our right side, feeling that stretch through our left. Through the middle and back to that left side. Breathing up to the middle and one last time on the right side. Arms come down, and when you're ready, slowly rise up, tracing your body up into mountain pose. We'll come up to the front of our mats. Our hands are at our sides, our feet are grounded underneath us. We're breathing here. Connecting with our feet to our mat. From here, our hands will come up overhead, and we'll swan dive forward, Our fingers graze the mat. Maybe we lift up halfway, our back is straight, and we all the way down to forward fold. Dangling our arms there, maybe hugging them into ragdoll, just stretching out those legs for now. Maybe side to side. Making sure to breathe, stay with that breath. Our hands come down to the mat, step or hop your way back into a plank position. Your feet should be about hip width apart. Our hands underneath our shoulders, pressing each finger into the mat as we hold this plank position. Warming up that core, feeling that heat run through our body. And breathe. Lowering yourself down into cobra and lifting up through the chest. Making sure those shoulders are away from our ears, our chest is up. And breathe. Curling our toes under, taking our hips back into downward dog. Maybe walking out those feet if our calves are a little tight. Maybe pushing the hips back a little deeper. When you're ready, hop or step your way up to the front of the mat. Trace your hands up your body as we slowly lift up into mountain pose. Arranging our feet so they're right under our hips. We'll breathe here. Feeling how that first flow made us feel, how those stretches felt. We'll do that 2 more times, holding them a little longer each one. Making sure to stay with that breath. Our hands come up. And swan dive forward. Fingers touching the mat, halfway lift. Hands all the way down to the mat. Step or hop your feet back into a plank. And we hold it here. Making sure those hands are under our shoulders, feet hip width apart. Our back is as flat as possible. Hold that plank. Feel that warmth. Breathe. And lower yourself down. And lift up into cobra. Rising up through that chest. Maybe your gaze shifts up as we breathe. Curling those toes under, lifting our hips back into downward dog. Walking out that dog. Stretching out those calf muscles. Step or cup your feet up to the front. Fingers trace our body up. Hands overhead. And we meet in mountain. Finding that breath again. Our hands come up and swan dive forward. Halfway lift. And hands all the way down to the mat into that plank position. Finding that breath. Using that core to stabilize. Releasing down. And rising up into Cobra. Going deeper into that stretch this time. Curling the toes under, rising up into down dog. Walking out that dog if it's comfortable, or sinking the hips back further. Hop or step your feet up to the front of the mat and rise up slowly. Your head is the last thing to rise up. Hands overhead into that mountain pose. Finding that breath, we shift our feet up to the front of the mat. Hands are at our side. Breathing. Grounding ourselves to the mat. From here, I'm going to shift more to the middle of my mat. We're going to bring those arms up overhead as we shift our hips and our butt back into seated. Our back is as if we're sitting down on our chair as we reach up to the sky. Holding that here. Breathing. Maybe sinking a little deeper. Making sure our knees don't go above our toes, but our arms are reaching out forward. Rising up, back into mountain. And breathing here. One more breath, breathe in. And on the exhale, sit back into that seated position. Holding it here. And rising up into mountain. Letting that breath. And one last time, inhale. And exhale, release into that seated position. Hold this for 2 more breaths. 1 more. Rising up into mountain. We'll bring those feet back to the front of our mat. Ground ourselves. When you're ready, bring that right leg back. Bend that front knee. The back foot should be at about a 45-degree angle. Hands come up into warrior 1. From here, we'll cycle that foot out to a 90-degree to warrior 2. Bending that front knee, but not past the toe. Dropping that back arm to our back leg. Rising that front arm above us to reverse warrior. Maybe dropping that back arm a little further down for a deeper stretch. Rising back up to warrior 2. Bring that front arm down to your front knee. Back arm rises overhead. You can stay here if you're comfortable. If not, you can extend that leg out into triangle. Again, if you're more comfortable like this, stay there. Feel that stretch. Connect to that breath. And we rise back up to warrior 2. And cycle up into mountain. Finding that breath. We inhale, step that left leg back, and then that front knee. Again, the back leg should be about a 45-degree angle. Front knee bent, not past the toe, and arms come up to warrior one. We're going to cycle that back foot out to a 90-degree, bend deeper into warrior two. Feel this side compared to the last. Maybe it's a little more stretched, maybe it's a little more difficult. Dropping that back arm to our back knee. Our hand rises up above us to reverse warrior. Maybe dropping that arm a little more to get deeper into the stretch. Rising back up to warrior two. Maybe scooting that back leg out for a deeper stretch. Bring that front arm to that front leg. Back arm rises above us. Staying here if it's comfortable. If not, extending that knee into triangle. Breathing. Rising back up to warrior two. And cycling up into mountain. Being aware of how that felt on each side, we'll do it one more time. Going a little deeper or staying the same. Whatever's comfortable for you. With the next inhale, we drop our foot back, our right foot, bending with that left knee. Our arms circle out. That back foot's at a 45-degree angle. Into warrior one. We'll take that back leg out to a 90-degree and sink deeper into warrior two. Again, if you want more of a deep stretch, take that back leg out further and bend into it. From here, we'll drop that back arm to our back leg to reverse warrior. Maybe dropping deeper this time or staying in a comfortable zone. Breathing. Coming back up to warrior two. Dropping that front arm to that front knee. Back arm rises up. Staying here if you're comfortable. If you want more of a deep stretch, feel free to release into triangle. If you're comfortable though, you can stay here. Sink deeper maybe with that front leg. And breathe. Coming back up into warrior two. And cycling up in the mountain. Being with your breath for a moment. With your next inhale, we'll drop that left leg back. Arms come out to our sides to warrior one. Making sure that front knee is bent but not past that toe. As we cycle our back foot to a 90 for warrior two. Again, scooting that back leg out further to get deeper into that stretch. We'll drop that back arm, front arm comes up to reverse warrior. Breathing, going deeper into that position. Coming back up to warrior two. Dropping that arm to that knee. Back arm comes up. Maybe our gaze shifts up this time to our back arm. Extending that knee into triangle. Finding our breath. Slowly rising back up to warrior two. And circling back up into mountain. Finding that breath again. Our hands come up overhead. So we swan dive forward. Hands come to the mat. Step or hop your feet back into that plank. Lower those knees down under our hips. Arms come under our shoulders. And top. Maybe do a few cat-cows here. Breathing in, dropping that stomach. And out, rounding that spine. Again, breathing in, dropping that stomach. And out, rounding that spine. Taking those knees a little wider than our hips, sitting back into child's pose. Feeling how good this pose feels after the balancing and the flow. Feeling how comforting it is, how welcoming it is. How you can sink deeper into it or stay the same. Breathing here. When you're ready, if you'll meet me in a seated position. Sitting up straight, rolling our shoulders back. We'll take our feet out into a V shape. The wider you go, the more stretch you'll get. Or if this is uncomfortable for you, you move it in closer. Wherever you're at, start there as we raise our arms above our heads and bend to our left side. Bending with our whole body. Maybe you're at your knee, maybe you're at your calf, ankle, or all the way down to your foot. Just hold it here and breathe. Breathing into that leg. Breathing into that stretch. Letting go. Our arms come up overhead to that right side. Again, bending with that whole body to our foot, our ankle, our calf, maybe our knee. Just bending as much as possible, or as much as comfortable, and being with that breath. Breathe into that leg. So we rise up through the middle, and we'll bend forward with our whole body. Maybe walking those fingers out for a deeper stretch. Finding that breath here. Arms come back up overhead and down to our sides. From here, you'll move your feet to the top of the mat. We'll begin here. And extended legs. We'll bring our right knee up. Take that foot over our left leg. Our right arm comes up. That elbow to that knee as we twist to our left side. That left arm and shoulder can move back into a deeper stretch. or we push that right elbow into that knee. We're holding it here. This is comfortable for you. Breathe. And release that knee back to the ground. This time we'll take our left knee over our right leg. Our left elbow comes up and meets that knee as we twist to the right side. Maybe our gaze shifts over our right shoulder to twist deeper. Breathe here. One more breath. Breathing in. And exhale. Taking that knee down. We'll release our whole body down to the mat. Feeling our weight sink into the mat. Breathing here. Feeling how good it feels just to lie down. Bringing that right knee up, hugging it in close. Maybe rotating it clockwise and counterclockwise. Hugging in close, and then taking that right knee over that left leg to a laying down twist. Making sure both shoulders are flat on the mat. Maybe we look at our right arm as we hold this stretch. Releasing that right knee back, hugging it in close one last time, and releasing it down to the mat. Now we take that left knee up, hug it in close. Again, maybe rotating it clockwise, it's comfortable, and counterclockwise. Hugging it in close, and taking that left knee over that right leg this time to the seated twist. Keeping both shoulders on the mat, maybe our gaze shifts to that left arm. We sink deeper into this twist. Breathe in. One last breath. And exhale, bring that knee back up to your chest. And instead of releasing it, we'll bring that right knee up to meet it. Hug them both in close, maybe rocking side to side if that feels good on your lower back. Hugging them in close one more time. And we'll grab our feet or maybe our big toe as we release into happy baby. Keeping those feet up towards the sky. Breathing. Again, rocking side by side. That's comfortable for you. Releasing that, hugging those knees in close. Breathing. And release one more time into that happy baby. Letting your legs just melt to this pose. Feeling the stretch. Hugging those knees in close. Releasing that right leg first, then the left leg. And we'll meet in our final rest. Our hands are by our side, our feet are out straight. We're breathing. If you're more comfortable in a different position, you can enter that position now. If you have a blanket or a pillow you use, feel free to get that. Whatever you need to Feel comfortable in the spinal rest or Shavasana. Really connecting with your breath. Letting your mind just flood into the mat. Being aware of your body and present, but letting go of all the outside chaos. Melt into that mat. Connect with that breath. Coming back to that intention we set at the beginning. Remember it, hold on to it, and let it go. Clearing your mind, your body, and your soul. And then reminding yourself to thank you. Thank you for the time you placed to spend time on the mat, with your thoughts and your body to connect. Thanking yourself for this time. When you're ready, start to wiggle those fingers and the toes. Come more present in your body again, bringing that consciousness back. And when you're ready, we'll shift our weight to one side as we roll over, using our one arm as a pillow, the other as a little armrest. Becoming fully aware again. And when you're ready, slowly rise all the way up into a seated position. We'll bring our arms up, palms together, bring it to our mind, our mouth, and our heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will have another class next Tuesday at the same time, 10 to 11. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.